Hey there gamers, welcome back. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually British, which means I have to live in the country England. Now obviously in this great nation, we have a few celebrities, alright? Some are more liked than others. You know, all round I would say it's pretty standard. Like, you can fit them into like 3 brackets, either like incredibly annoying, genuine pricks, or, you know, just alright geezers. And then I would reserve a 4th slot for like anyone famous from Love Island, because those lot are always interesting to watch, to say the least.
Essex is a continent.
No, it's a county.
Oh, what, a country?
To be fair, she'd probably make it at the top of a geography class in America, so, you know, at least she's got that going for her. Anyway, there's this celebrity in the UK called Holly Willoughby, who, for those of you who don't know who she is, she's basically like the British version of Ellen, where they just get her to present whatever slop needs a presenter on TV. I do feel bad for calling her the British version of Ellen, because, you know, she is fairly liked here. Like, she stays out of controversy. Like, her biggest controversy was probably, like, skipping the queue to see the Queen's coffin back when she died. And if you want to be publicly hated by a large group of British people, just push in front of them in a queue, because there is nothing society here hates more than queue jumpers. To be fair, on this occasion, I don't really blame her, because that queue was like 12 hours long for some reason. We're a weird country. Anyway, Holly has been in the news recently for some quite disturbing reasons. Some footage was released by the police here of a man getting arrested for basically planning to kidnap Holly Willoughby. So this is the guy, his name is Gavin Plum. He's about 37 years old, obviously built like a Snorlax. But, you know, I'm pretty certain that if he got close to Holly anyway, she could have avoided him with just a light jog. This is who I picture behind any Reddit user, basically. Straight up, this guy is just a supervillain, alright? He's actually Al from Toy Story. I'll basically give you the whole story. He started this massive obsession with Holly Willoughby, and then it eventually progressed to him getting fantasies about bloody kidnapping her. And then this obsession, I'm guessing, obviously evolved into him wanting to go through the kidnapping, obviously to perform these disgusting fantasies in real life. My guess is he wanted to eat her. You know, whatever nasty shit he was planning on doing, he was physically preparing to go through with it. He even went as far to try and get a hitman in the US involved. He had flights booked to and from the UK for said hitman, assist him in his crimes. You know, there's being a fan, and then there's doing this shit, alright? Anyway, his mastermind plan all unraveled, and he met someone on a Holly Willoughby fan group online, and they got into a conversation. He basically told them of his fantasies and how he was planning on kidnapping her, flying a hitman over, basically showing this random guy from the Holly Willoughby fan club all of the shit he was preparing. But it turns out this random guy on the Holly Willoughby fan club was an undercover cop. I don't really know why there's undercover cops positioned on the Holly Willoughby fan club. Whatever. Thank God he was there. And a lot of the evidence that this police officer had obviously gathered was pretty mental. Gavin had gone online and ordered chloroform, when breathed in gives you shortness of breath and basically sedates you, so it would make you like easier to basically kidnap. He had like a full collection of like bondage items.
Hands and ankle shackles. Ring and ball gag.
You know what that was going to be used for. He also sent voice notes talking him through how the plan was going to work. When you listen to his plan, it really shows you how much of a fucking buffoon he really is.
Right, plan of action. I'll give you a brief rundown. Basically, we're going to hit it at night. Less traffic on the road, etc. Chloroform both of them. That way then they can both be easily restrained. So with all this evidence stacked against him, the police obviously had enough reason to go in and fucking arrest him, which is what they did. Basically in the middle of the night they just bashed his door in and just fucking stormed the place, got all the evidence and arrested him. And the whole time he's just there trying to play it off like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. What's going on? What the hell is going on?
Honestly, his terrifying voice and demeanour just sends chills to the core of my body. I do appreciate the fact that, you know, he says hell instead of fuck, you know, keeping it family friendly. At least he's good for that.
At the moment, you're under arrest for conspiracy to kidnap. Who? Holly Willoughby.
I don't think those ones are warm.
That's the allegation.
Okay, where's that come from?
He's honestly like a Scooby-Doo villain, like the way he's trying to play it off. He pulls out the full Redditor voice, he's like, where does that come from?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, she's a fantasy of mine. I mean, she's a fantasy of a lot of guys, isn't she?
It's so funny how he's just constantly digging himself a deeper hole. The way he's trying to play it all off, being like, oh, it's just a fantasy of mine. I'm sure it's a fantasy of a lot of guys as well, as if they're somehow going to be like, oh, it's all right then, mate, we'll just fuck off then, because, you know, everyone somehow has this fantasy of kidnapping random British celebrities, all right? He's trying to laugh it off with them as if one of the police officers is going to turn around to him and be like, oh yeah, mate, I fucking love Holly Willoughby as well. There's actually like zero shame sitting there in your room, no clothes on, fucking police officers everywhere, just admitting to them who your fantasies are. Lock him up for life. But yeah, that's where the story sort of ends. He thankfully was caught before he could even attempt the kidnapping. I do thoroughly believe though, if he actually did attempt to pull it off, he would have failed miserably. There is no way he's built to even walk to his front door. So I don't know how he's pulling this off. Hopefully he's in jail for a long, long time though, because even more disturbingly, actually has history of attempting kidnapping. Similar fashion to Scooby-Doo villains, he fails miserably every time, so I have no doubt he attempted this one, it would have gone the same way. First time he attempted one of these, back in 2006, he was on a train, he passed these two girls a note saying he was going to kidnap them or something, and then he pulled a fake gun out on them. I imagine they just ran off and he couldn't catch up with them or something. And then 2 years later in 2008, he tried tying up two girls in the back of a Woolworths, which is just fucking insane. The only way I can describe this guy's logic for his plans is like Gumball and Darwin. This is some shit Gumball and Darwin would come up with and actually think it was genius. And a fake gun out, probably a Nerf gun. Bro, are you 7 years old? This is not fucking GTA. And then like tying two girls up in the back of a shop. Some Looney Tune ass villain, bro. What are you doing? So I imagine his trial now is covering all of this and we'll have him locked up for a long, long time. Anyway, gamers, that is the end of today's video. I hope you did enjoy. I do appreciate you coming along for the video. And I hope for any of you that live outside of the UK, it truly deters you from ever visiting this godforsaken country. Yeah, thanks for coming along. Don't forget to dislike and unsubscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.